Hey y'all, hey, welcome to another episode of the Mother May I podcast. I am your host, Whitney, and I am so excited to be here today. And let me just tell y'all, if you haven't already, you definitely want to stick around in this place because this podcast is one of those podcasts for moms that really want to focus on learning how to grow and really just become a better version of themselves through motherhood. I even created a community where we can sit down, kind of chat and kiki and share tips and advice. It's the Motherhood Circle. You can find us on Facebook, but it's a full community of moms just on this journey together towards reclaiming ourselves through motherhood. So if that's something that you're down with, you definitely want to head on over to Facebook and join our community, and be sure to subscribe to the podcast. We have new episodes every other Thursday, so make sure you keep coming back and checking out new episodes each and every other Thursday. All right, y'all, enough of that. Let me just tell y'all, today's episode is going to be good. It's going to be juicy because today we're going to talk about acceptance. Acceptance is one of the biggest things that I've had to learn, and I'm still learning, but I feel like it's such a relevant topic through motherhood because it goes and pertains to so many different areas of our life that we don't have to like compartmentalize it and say it's just because about parenting, or it's just about how we hang with our friends, or it's just about relationships. No, it doesn't have to be about any of those things just per se. It can be about a range of different things. We find acceptance in different areas in our lives, and the more and more we gain and understand the foundations of acceptance, I feel like that's the catalyst for some real growth. And today, that's what I really want to talk about, because like myself, I'm on this journey to where I want to learn how to recognize when things need to just be like, girl, let it go, walk away, leave it alone. Like, I really am on this journey towards learning how to be like, all right, don't say nothing, Whitney, be quiet, leave it alone, walk away. You know, y'all, if you know, you know, okay, I'm gonna just say that. But really, I'm doing that because I understand and I can recognize the impact of feeding things that don't even deserve my attention. Like, it's such a waste of your time, the other person's time. And then at the end of the day, you probably may or may not get the outcome you wanted in the end anyway. So a lot of this has to deal with realizing when to speak up and say something, when to accept how things are, be quiet and shut your mouth, right? And I find like that's a slippery slope because it can go either way. Because sometimes you definitely have to vocalize and say things for yourself. And I'm never telling you not to do that. But on my journey, I'm finding that sometimes it's best to not say anything and let your actions speak louder than your words. And so for me on my journey and where I am in my life, I'm practicing not saying much so that I can say a lot, if that makes sense, right? And so one of the things that I've had to do to put myself in that space is learn how to identify and recognize when to gain acceptance for things that I can't control, things that happen in my past, things that may not be where I want them to be. How do I gain the acceptance for those things in the right now so that I continue to move myself forward into the person I want to be in my future, right? And so one of the things that I'm learning really, really heavy now in this space in my life is to recognize when it's time to stop trying to mold, force, put together, or make things fit or look or do a certain way, right? And the reason why I feel like that is because I feel like a lot of times we have this culture or this society that praises perfection, and everybody wants to appear like they have the perfect lifestyle, the perfect amount of money, the perfect car, the perfect hair, the perfect relationship, the perfect this, the perfect that, right? And all actuality, there is no perfect. Who created perfect in the first place? There is no perfect. In all actuality, you identify and create perfectionism in your own eyes and in what you want. You have to be able to identify what it is that really ticks or makes you happy and makes you come alive on the inside before you can identify what it actually is that you are actually trying to attain or reach. Because a lot of times we're looking at these people and we're like, dang, I wish I had this, or dang, I had this. And you're idolizing the things that they have, but not realizing what it is required to first of all, attain those things. And not only that, realizing that just because you see something, that does not actually mean that that's what it is behind closed doors. So you have to learn how to accept what you have right now. And although those things may look shiny, may look great and all those other things, what is it that you need in this present moment to get you to where you want to be, where you find your version of a happy relationship, where you find your version of happy friendships, where you find your version of the money that you want, where you find your version of, oh, this is the body I've always wanted. You have to find that for yourself. And the more and more you idolize other people and look to what they're doing and focus in on what they're doing to the left and the right, the less time you have to gain acceptance for what you have for yourself on the inside right now in this very moment. There's so many lessons that we overlook because we focus on the past or we focus on the future. And I learned this when I was in therapy, y'all. This is crazy, right? I learned that a lot of times we focus in on what has already happened to us or what is going to happen to us in the future, that we forget all the valuable lessons and things that we have to pay attention to right now and today. We so focus on what's going to happen tomorrow, next week, 5 minutes from now, 10 minutes from now, an hour from now. We not even realizing what's happening right now. Like a lot of times, you ever think about this? Like we be so like, oh, I'm going to be late for my appointment. My appointment starts in about 20 minutes. I'm 30 minutes away. There's no way I'm going to make it. But then you don't realize that, hey, I do have a snack in the car. Maybe I should go ahead and eat something real quick so that when I get there, at least I'm not hungry. But a lot of times you can't even think about those type of things because your mind is so frazzled, because only thing you can focus on is what you got to do in the future, that you can't focus on taking care of your body and making sure you're straight in the present moment. And so that's why the whole concept and the idea of self-acceptance in all areas of our lives is so much of an impact, because it allows us to stay grounded in what's happening right now instead of focusing on what happened or what will happen. A lot of times we cause a lot of stress, anxiety, depression, and things like that for ourselves because we replay old narratives, and then we think we can predict or overthink what can happen in our future. And before you know it, we get so much in our heads that we paralyze ourselves from doing anything other than what we've always done. And so what I've learned is that acceptance is what you need in order to help you grow into who you want to be or whatever you're trying to do. And this ain't even just thinking about, growing into whatever your biggest dream, whatever, right? It's not even just that. Think about growing your hair. You know what I'm saying? Like, in order to grow your hair, you got to accept your hair for where it is right now, baby. You may also have to accept the fact that you ain't about to spend a whole bunch of money on hair products, or you may have to accept the fact that you are going to invest more money in hair products. Whatever it is, there has to be some level of acceptance that has to occur in order for you to even grow the hair in the first place, right? So a lot of times we look at acceptance and think we just have to apply for one area of our lives, but really the whole umbrella of acceptance allows us to stay in our present moment, so that whatever we're trying to grow in whatever area, whatever goal we're trying to create, whatever milestone we're trying to reach, whatever it is we're trying to get to, if we learn how to focus in on today and focus in on the acceptance that we have right in front of us, we can create the path we need to get to the growth that we're aspiring to reach. But a lot of times we can't get there because we haven't even accepted what's going on right now. We so focused on what happened yesterday and what's about to happen next week that we forget that what's happening right now could really be the game changer that helps you move forward to your next level. But you so focused on what happened and what's about to happen. And so I feel like right now in this season of my life, acceptance is one of those things where it's teaching me to slow down, teaching me to listen more, teaching me to be quiet more, because I feel like a lot of times we speak and we're talking, but it's just to be heard. But sometimes there's more power in just sitting back and listening, hearing what the people around you are saying, observing what you hear around you on a regular basis. A lot of times you can be entertaining conversations or people or situations that are draining you and preventing you from moving into your next level because you've accepted the type of people that are around you. You've accepted the type of lifestyle and the type of things that you're exposed to on a regular basis, and you're not demanding that things change or be different around you. So if you don't demand any difference in the people around you, in the situation around you, in the atmosphere you create around you, if you don't demand any type of change in those type of areas in your space, your personal space, you cannot find the space to gain the acceptance that you're going to need to grow into the person you're trying to be, because everybody around you just want to do the same things they've always done. If everybody around you doing the same things they've always done, that's the people they're going to be for the rest of their lives. You have to come into a point in your life where you like, listen, I see what you're doing. I see what you're doing. I see what you're doing. And all that is cool. But here's where I'm taking myself in my next level. Here's the next thing that I'm doing to help myself be in a better level. And this ain't got nothing to do with just, biz. Like, I don't want y'all to ever get so consumed that this has to just be about business. Think about a spiritual journey. Think about your education. Think about losing weight. Think about all these different areas of our lives where we can be growing and improving ourselves. But we don't, because we so accustomed to the things that we accept from the people around us. Like, how are these people supporting me in getting the goals or hitting the dreams or achieving the things that I say I want to get to in my life? How are these people support me in getting there? Are they always talking about other people? Are they always bashing me and putting me down? Are they always feeding me negativity? Do they only want to hang out when I'm good? You got to focus on those type of things, because when you focus on those type of people and you start to listen and pay attention to those type of things, you understand that you cannot continue to entertain those type of conversations if you want to focus on growing in other areas of your life. And I think for myself, one of the biggest lessons that I've learned is to not beg, force, or try to persuade anybody to do anything. If people want to be how they are, accept them. Don't bash people and put them down because, oh, this person does this. Oh, this person does that. Okay, so what? If that's what they do, that's what they do. But we're not going to put people down because of what they do. You just remove yourself from those people and allow them to be themselves. Because what we like to do is like to say, oh, this person is like this. Oh, this person like this. And then we become the same people that we complain to other people about. So what make your stuff any different? You can't be like the people you over there point your fingers at and then expect things to change for you. Part of acceptance is learning when to accept that that's how that person is, and you keep it pushing, moving in a way that helps you move how you want to move. Period. That's how you have to do it. But to force somebody to be different or be who you want them to be is a complete waste of your own time, because people going to be who they are. And the moment you try to force or try to change or try to transition people to be who they want to be, that's when you mess up. Now, I'm not saying stick around people that's like that, because if they like that, you got to make a decision in your own head and be like, oh, I can't hang with these type of people, or I can. But just know that who you hang around will ultimately determine how you move to your next level. Who you hang around is who you will be in the next 5, 10, 15 years. So you choose your circle wisely. But a part of acceptance is understanding and accepting that you have control over who you choose to spend and pick your energy with. You have to accept the fact that you get to choose who you spend time with and who gets your time and who gets your energy and who gets a conversation with you. You get to choose that. And the moment you let somebody else dictate and run that, that's when things hit a curve and you're going to have problems. And so in this episode, what I really wanted you guys to gain is the importance of accepting and identifying what it is that you need for you outside of who people need you to be in motherhood, outside of people who need you to be in relationships, your jobs, your friend, outside of all of those things. Who do you need to accept yourself for? Why do you need to accept yourself for that person? And what steps you need to take today to move yourself towards that? And this don't have to be in one area of life. It can be in any area of life or a couple of them. But the importance is learning how to recognize what you need and not idolize what you're seeing online or what you think somebody else has or who got this or what this person, da-da-da-da. None of that shit matters. At the end of the day, what is going to put you to where you say you want to go? And what steps you need to take to get there? All right? So that's it for today's episode, guys. I hope y'all enjoyed today's episode. Again, these episodes are every other Thursday on the Mother May I podcast. You can find us on YouTube, and you can also find my free community, the Motherhood Circle, on Facebook. We are full of moms on the mission towards becoming and being better through motherhood. I will see you guys the Thursday after next for another episode of the Mother May I podcast.